Hey everyone, Backyard Farmer Pat here. Can you believe it? Today is the 100th episode of Plant, Grow, Eat, Share with Backyard Farmer Pat. I just want to thank each and every one of my subscribers, each and every one of you guys who come every week to see what I'm growing in the garden, to see what seeds I'm planting, and to give me encouragement. I just love that we're planting seeds together, we're growing our own food, and we're eating and enjoying it, and we never forget to share. And I hope that you guys will continue on my journey. I'm now here in Central Florida. I have a ton more to plant, eat, and grow. As we're going to talk about today, I am planting my seeds for February. And I want you to join in with me today. We're going to go through all the seeds, the herbs, the flowers that I'm planting. Not just that, but I'm going to be planting some ginger and some potatoes in the ground. And we're also going to talk about what fruit trees I'm putting in, because as you know, I'm establishing my food forest. So every single month I'm planting new fruit trees and new food. So let's get started. Let's see what we have. Okay, so before I get started, I want to talk about the container that I'm using this time. And I also want to talk about the seed starting mix that I'm using. What I noticed is I used my seed starting tray back in my December video that I did the end of December, and I got a lot better results using that seed starting tray than in January. The seeds I started in January that I started in small containers. Definitely there was a big difference. I noticed in January there was a lot of like fungus gnats, not fungus gnats, but there was like a layer of green fungus on the top. I didn't see that in my when I used the seed starting tray. So I'm switching back to the tray. I'm also starting a new soil, trying a new soil this month that I got from Walmart. But before I move on, I want to say it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. And in honor of Black History Month, I am rocking a t-shirt from Mothahood movement, a black-owned company. Respect your mother. It's good for Black History Month. It's also good for Mother's Day. So check that out. Anyway, let's get started looking at this seed starting mix. Before I show you the how I plant my seeds, I wanted to show you really quickly the green algae that I was talking about. I think I said green fungus earlier, but it's really algae. So when you look at the surface here, you see it has this really green surface on most of these pots. It didn't stop my brandywine tomatoes. These look extremely healthy. I have like 5 that came up so far. My red cherries came up really well. These are my red cherries. These are my brandywine. You can see they already have their secondary leaves. My black cherries are also coming up really well. And my cucumbers. So far, I don't have any bell peppers. I have 2 different kind of bell peppers. Neither one came up yet. I don't see any seeds, but you know, it's only been a couple weeks, so they could possibly come up still. And here I have my scotch bonnets. These are 2 little scotch bonnets, and here's a 3rd scotch bonnet. Then here I have my cachucha. This is my cachucha pepper and my purple scotch bonnet. So I guess the peppers are taking a little bit longer than the tomatoes. Another reason, let me see, another reason why that could cause this this green algae, it could be because where I am in Palm Bay, it's extremely moist. The air is always moist. It rained quite a bit a couple weeks ago. You know, we had the frost and then we had the rain. So of course, that can also cause this green algae. It doesn't affect the plant in any way, but one thing that is very important, you know, I have to check to make sure it's not too wet, because if it's too wet, that can also cause it, and if it's too wet, the seeds can rot. It feels pretty dry. I don't water it all the time. I only water it if it appears to dry out, which is how you should treat your seedlings. You shouldn't never ever overwater your seedlings, because that can cause them to rot. Anyway, let's get to planting our new seeds. Here's the seed starting mix that I told you about that I'm gonna try for the first time. I got this at Walmart. It's called Jiffy Natural and Organic Seed Starting Mix. And what I really love about it, this is some soil from it. What I really love about it, it is super
light. It feels almost like a light talcum powder. Look at this. It's super light. And what is very important is when you're planting any starting seeds, it should be very light. You can almost throw it up and see how light it is. It's very important to be very light so that the roots can form and spread. If the soil is very thick or heavy or compacted, the tender roots won't be able to spread and the plant will struggle. So this is really light, really great. I switched back to my seed starting tray. You know, I used this back when I started my seeds in December. And what I really like is that when I started my seeds in December, the seeds came up very quickly and they seem to be a lot healthier. Um, the seeds in December were a bit of a struggle because they got hit by a weed whacker, and you know there were several things that happened. I wasn't paying attention to them as I should. But overall, even with the bad treatment, I find that the seedlings seem to be stronger. So I'm switching back. I still had some of these extra trays that I didn't use, so I'm switching back to these trays. All right, so let's see what we have here for this month. So the first one that I'm going to be planting is Nasturium. And as you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful flower. And you're thinking, hey Patrice, I thought you were planting mainly food. Nasturium is edible. So not just the leaves are edible, but the flowers are edible, and it's absolutely beautiful. This has like a ton of vitamin C. It has vitamin B1, B2, B3. I think it has calcium. It has like a lot of medicinal purposes. It can be used as a tea. Of course, with these fabulous flowers, it can be used as a garnish. Um, I believe I haven't eaten it. I bought it for the first time a couple years ago, but I didn't know it was edible. I just bought it because it's absolutely beautiful, and I heard that it actually attracts like bad bugs to eat it instead of eating the veggies. So I had it by my veggie bed so that to try and protect my vegetables. But now that I know it's edible, I will absolutely be trying this. I heard it has like a spicy flavor, kind of like mustards, and I absolutely love mustard. Mustard might be my favorite or my one of my favorite vegetables. So I will definitely be eating this year. I plan on putting them throughout my beds. I got my chicken coop, so I plan on putting some little planters with it outside my chicken coop also. Um, I'm also gonna plant marigolds. So marigolds are supposed to attract certain insects. I've heard two different things. I've heard that marigolds actually attract bad insects, which can then eat your cabbage or eat your veggies. And I've heard that they attract the bad things to eat it instead of the veggies. So what I'll do with the marigold, I'll probably plant these in pots, leave them close by to my vegetables. If I see that my vegetables are being attacked, I'll be able to easily move it to an area, maybe by the chicken coop or somewhere else that it won't attract the bad bugs. So this is going to be my first time planting this from seed. In the past, I've bought marigolds from Home Depot or Lowe's, but hey, now I have all these seeds for like $1, and I'll be able to have multiple marigold for basically pennies on the dollar. I also plan on planting. I actually had planned on planting more cachucha and scotch bonnets. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna do that. At first, my cachucha peppers seemed that they weren't growing, but now I see a couple are popping through. I probably will still plant a couple cachucha because I really enjoy these peppers. Cachucha peppers are in the same family as Scotch bonnet, which we Jamaicans love our Scotch bonnet. Scotch bonnet is very spicy, but it's also very fragrant. It adds a delicious flavor and aroma to anything you're cooking. Cachucha might be a little bit spicier than Scotch bonnet, but it has that same wonderful aroma. So I'm gonna plant a couple more cachucha seeds. I am also gonna plant some more gungo peas or pigeon peas. I planted some right before the freeze, but the freeze they came up very slowly. So far I planted I think three, and two have come up so far, so not doing bad. But I think I want to plant some more gungo peas or pigeon peas. These peas have the most beautiful flower. If you guys saw my videos from like a year ago, I even did a devotional video just admiring these beautiful flowers. They have a brilliant yellow flower. So what I plan on doing is planting several gungo pea bushes or trees. They get big like trees. I'm going to plant them between my garden and my neighbor's garden. That way I have food plus I have beauty. So these are probably going to go in the front yard as a hedge. Also, for my very first time, I plan on planting sweet corn. I believe this says it should be planted in March or August. Right now we're almost at February 18th, February 17th or 18th. So we're almost there. This week is very warm. Today is 80 degrees, and when I check the weather channel, it's gonna be warm for the next 10 days or so. So I'm gonna put these in the ground, or actually, I'm gonna start these in a seed tray. What else do we have here? We have my purple Scotch bonnet. I think I'm gonna maybe plant some more purple Scotch bonnet and regular Scotch bonnet. I probably will only do 1 or 2 seeds. Uh-oh, everything's blown away. Then I think I'm gonna keep my callaloo for like another month. Can't be a proper Jamaican without a callaloo. And what I did, you see it says my callaloo, and that's because last year I saved my callaloo seeds. You see the dark spots, so those are the callaloo seeds, and then this is just a husk that the seeds are around. But I'm gonna save that for another time. I'm also gonna plant my blue butterfly peas. These also have spectacular flowers. I've never grown this before, but I actually bought this mainly for the flowers. I'm sure the peas are delicious also. They're blue butterfly peas. And what I'm gonna do is grow this on a trellis so that I have the beautiful blue flowers as I walk through the garden. Then the other items, I think the last seed I'm gonna plant is my bush sugar baby. And I believe this also says March through May. It's not quite March, but I'm gonna get this in early. These are small watermelons, so I plan on growing this on a trellis. Then the other items, I'm gonna save it till April. These are my pumpkins and my cantaloupe. I'm gonna save those till April. Peppers, I probably try again with the peppers. The bell peppers haven't come up yet, but it could be just that they're a bit slow. But now that it warmed up, peppers prefer warmth to germinate. So I'm gonna try again. It says here, oh, it says December through March. So, but we had that frost right after I planted the seed. So I'm gonna put a couple more bell peppers in. Then my okras, I'm gonna save till later. All right, so let's look at our tray. So here is my tray, and this is where we're gonna plant our seeds. So what I did here was I put the soil into each tray, and I basically leveled it off. And you notice that it's not moist yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna water from below. You can water different ways. You can water from above or below. I personally prefer to pre-soak or pre-wet the soil, but of course making sure it's not too wet. And when I do water, I prefer to water from the tray, from the base. So here you can see, you can lift it up. I prefer to add water from the base. I actually added some water yesterday from some rainwater. I'm gonna add some more. And what happens is the water soaks from the bottom up, and it will lightly moisten the soil. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some more water to water the bottom while I show you how I'm gonna plant across the top. Okay, I'm gonna do my very best since I have to plant and record at the same time. So the first one I have, the first row is Nasturium, right? So this is a Nasturium. What I'm gonna do for these, I'm just gonna put them very lightly across the top. Oh, actually, these are nice big seeds. I thought they were gonna be smaller seeds, but here's what the seed, here's what the seed looks like. It's a very big seed, a pretty big seed. So I'm just gonna make a little dimple and put 1 Nasturium per cell. Okay, and that's it for the Nasturium. What I'll do is, I believe I have another tray, seed tray. I'll plant some more in another seed tray because I really would love to have these throughout the garden. I thought that they were going to be smaller seeds. Okay, looks so next we're going to plant our chives, and I believe these are going to be smaller seeds. Yes, they are very small seeds. So I am very heavy-handed with seeds, and I don't mean to be, but every time I say I'm trying to plant 1 or 2 seeds, I have like 10 seeds in the same hole. So this is what it looks like. These are what the seeds look like. So I'm going to attempt to put 2 chives per hole. And as you can see by the picture on the bag, chives, we know chives are delicious, but based on the picture, it also has beautiful flowers. So not only will I be eating the chives and enjoying them, but the flowers will be attracting pollinators, which is great for our plants. And I drop more seeds, but I'll clean that up after. So I'm just going to lightly cover these. Lightly cover these. And I'm going to move right on to my marigold. So this is my marigold. It doesn't even feel like any seeds are in there. Let's see what's in there. This almost looks like there are no seeds, but I'm checking to see if there are any seeds. Huh, I've got an empty bag. Oh no, there are some seeds. Wow, these are very unusual. Wow, so this is what the seeds look like. They look like sticks. They literally look like little sticks. So I'm gonna put 1 per cell. Wow, this is really cool. It's so great experimenting, guys. You don't always have to plant the things that you used to. You know, seeds are a great and inexpensive way to plant, to try new things, new plants, new flowers. So the marigold, I'm gently pushing it down a bit. All right, so next we have my cachucha, my delicious cachucha. And I don't have enough space to plant any more Scotch bonnets, but I think it's fine because I have my 2 Scotch bonnets. I have my purple Scotch bonnet, so we'll just make sure to take care of those. So for the cachucha, here's what the seeds look like. They look like just regular pepper seeds, but they are yummy, yummy, yummy for my tummy. So we're putting the cachuchas in. And these are just seeds that I saved from last year, from last year's harvest. You know, and that's one thing you can do. You don't have to buy seeds. You can literally buy a pepper, enjoy your pepper, but before you cook it, or before you put it in the freezer, just take the seeds out, save them somewhere to dry, put them on a shelf to dry, and then we're good. So next, we're gonna do my beautiful butterfly seeds, and let's see what those look like. So this is, oops, they look almost like okra seeds. They look very much like okra seeds. They actually look exactly like okra seeds, and some fell, so I won't be surprised if next year when I think I plant okra, if some of these blue butterflies are gonna show up. But you know what, it's all good, it's all food, and it's all gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be spectacular, actually. All right, so those are my blue butterfly seeds, and put the excess back in the bag. Then next we have our sweet corn, and I'm pretty sure we all know what sweet corn looks like, but here's what it looks like dried. Right, this is same corn we eat, but this is it dried. Once we get to this point where we're gonna actually plant the corn, I'm gonna talk more about the corn. Corn, you never plant like 1 or 2. You don't plant them in a row. They cross-pollinate each other. So when you plant corn, you kind of plant them in 4s, in a circle of like 4. I don't know if you call it a circle, but you kind of, well, we're not gonna talk about it too much here. But they have to cross-pollinate each other. I'm putting extra seeds in here All right, so next we're gonna plant my delicious gungo, but my friend, a good friend of mine, Tony, she sent me some fresh gungo. You know, you guys remember that my very first garden tour, that wasn't my own garden. My friend Tony, her garden, I gave her a gungo plant, and her plant was literally laden. That one plant, she was able to send gungo peas or pigeon peas to family members in other states. And because I just moved and I don't have a gungo plant, I asked her to send for me. So these, I'm going to actually plant hers. So I'm not going to plant my gungo peas. I'm going to plant Tony's. And because these are bigger seeds, I'm going to push it down a little bit. So these are what the pigeon peas look like. These are the yummy pigeon peas. Oops, that you eat in your rice. Or your rice and peas. Us Jamaicans, we love our rice and peas, or you can make it in soups. So that's my pigeon peas. And then finally, we're gonna have our bush baby watermelons. The other things that I didn't get to plant, I will plant at another time. But you guys, I think you guys get the idea from here. So let's do these bush babies. And this is what they look like. They just look like watermelon seeds. They look like just like watermelon seeds, because that's what they are, watermelon seeds. Bush babies are a bit smaller than the average watermelon. So now that we did that, what I'm gonna do is go through and push the seeds down, especially these larger seeds. I'm gonna push them in. The chives are already good. Marigolds are good. These corns definitely need to be pushed in. Normally, I think corn is way too big for these small trays, but because I know it's warm and I'm gonna plant these out into the garden very, very quickly, I don't have to worry about them outgrowing the cells. When they outgrow the cells, I will just plant them straight into the garden. I plan on working on some garden beds this weekend, so whatever grows up within the next week, I'll go ahead and plant it out. What I'm going to also do here is take some additional soil and just dust across the top to make sure that they're well covered. Take a handful and I'm going to dust this across the top. Making sure I just dust it. I don't want to wipe from one tray to the next. So I'm dusting it across the top, because I had already pushed the seeds down. So you don't want to put the seeds on top and then dust, because then you're going to have the seeds spreading from one tree to the next. So that is it for this. I'm going to add some more water and allow it to come up, but I'm going to also very, very lightly sprinkle on the top, because you don't want to wash the soil away. You don't want to wash the seeds from one area to the next. You want to make sure the soil and the seeds stay in place. So I'm going to leave it like this for a little bit, because I'd already put some more water at the bottom. So by the time I'm done with this video, it would have reached the top and we probably don't even need to water. Already now, the water has wicked up. You can see on the sticks, actually see where the water is, like halfway up the sticks. And the soil, you can see it's darker now. Still a little light in some areas. So what I did was I took a light mist of water and I just lightly sprayed across the top. So I didn't disturb the seeds or anything. There's about ½ an inch of water in the base of the tray. So as it dries out, the water will wick up and it will keep the seeds moist. And what I'm gonna do now to keep the seeds moist, and this is what really makes it work, I'm putting on the dome, the humidity dome. Putting on the humidity dome and putting on this little vent cap. You rest this on and you can have it open to vent or closed. So I'm going to keep it closed at first, so that it can build up the humidity. By tomorrow when I come, it's going to be completely white with like humidity, and that's what's going to help the seeds to germinate. As a matter of fact, to give it a little boost, I'm going to stick it in my shed for a few days, and then once they germinate, once the seedlings are up and the leaves are out, then I'll bring it out into the sunshine. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for this video. We're gonna plant the potatoes, and we're gonna have to plant the potatoes and garlic and the ginger, turmeric, and all the other things I had planned. I'm gonna split the video in two. So stay tuned for my next video where I'll also be showing you what trees I'm planting.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm just so excited to have you guys, you know, following my journey of growing food and starting my food forest here in Palm Bay. If there's something that you've learned on this video or any of the other videos, the 100 videos that I've done, please let me know. I'd just love to hear from you what you've started doing, what you've started growing since you started watching my videos. Please consider subscribing. I have so much more content. There's so much more I have planned for this channel, and I would love to have you guys follow me. Also, check me out on Instagram, where I do sometimes post additional videos and additional pictures. Till next time, let's plant. Go out there today, plant a seed, and let's plant, grow, and eat together. And don't forget to share what you grow.